Hi guys, I've just got back in the car, so I've done my shopping at Aldi. I'm going to head on to Tesco's now. I had a bit of a issue in Aldi on two items I went to buy. The first one was some chicken fillets, and there was no barcode on the packaging. I got all the way to the till, I was putting everything through, and there was no barcode on this particular bit of packaging. So I said to the lady who was working there, I said, oh, there's no barcode on this one. She said, well, I can't move from here, she said. I'll keep an eye on your shopping if you want to go and change it. So I nipped back through the shop and changed the chicken, went back, started putting everything else through, and then I got to my broccoli, and I had a head of broccoli and there's no barcode on it. So, oh no. So I ended up having to do the same again, had to go back through the shop, put the broccoli back and pick up one with a barcode on so that I could get through the tills. So anyway, that's done. So I'm going to head on now to Tesco's. I haven't got to get too much at Tesco's. I'll wait for this car to move that's coming out behind me. So just bread and bits and bobs, guys. So once I've done that, I'm going to be heading home, then I'll have my dinner at home. I'm not going to buy fish and chips tonight, for a change. It's not cheap anymore. Fish and chips used to be a lovely cheap meal. I can remember as a child, I lived in a village in Cambridgeshire called Isleham, and there was no fish and chip shop in the village, but there was a fish and chip van, and it used to come round to the village on certain nights, and you used to go and get a bag of scraps. And this particular night I stood, it always stopped at certain spots in the village, so you just went to the nearest spot and waited for it to turn up. And I waited this particular night. There was quite a queue by the time I got there, so I joined the queue waiting for the fish and chip van to turn up, and it never turned up, and we found out later it had caught fire in the previous village. So we never did get our fish and chips again. But that was lovely. They were really greasy chips as well. They used to come wrapped in newspaper back then. Happy days. And used to get a bag of scraps. I loved the scraps. So yeah, happy memories, guys, flooding back. Right, I'm going to sign out now. I'm on my way up to Tesco's. Then once I got my food from Tesco's, I'm going to be driving back to Lavenham, and I'm going to make some dinner, guys, if I can get out of Sudbury. There's a car in the middle of the road. Here he goes. He did acknowledge me for stopping, but he did drive in the middle of the road. There we go. I got a message from my dad earlier. I was driving home and a message came up on my phone saying missed call. Now while I'm driving, my phone won't accept phone calls. I haven't got a phone in my car. I have to just click my mobile in. So I think when I update my head unit, I'm going to get one that will accept calls, because I can never get any calls. While I'm driving along, I don't get calls. But anyway, I came up with a missed message, Dad, and I thought, hello, something's happened. So I knew I was coming up to some roadworks and traffic lights, and sure enough, there was a queue a mile long at these traffic lights. So I stopped in the queue and I called my dad back. I said, did you just try and phone me? No, he says. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, he said. I haven't phoned you. I said, all right. I said, is it okay if I pop up and see you this weekend? I tried to go see my dad last weekend, but his phones weren't working, and he told me his internet was down, so he got no calls. So I forewarned him. I said, I'd like to pop up this weekend and see you. So that's all okay, that's on. But I'll try and phone him before I go, which is what I always do. But if I can't get an answer, I'll just go. Because I waited and waited last week and I didn't get an answer, and I should have just gone up there. Never mind. Right, I'm going to sign out now, guys, and I shall speak to you when I come out to Tesco's. Okay, bye-bye.